big question. It's the ultimate battle of the sexes. Who are the best drivers, men or women? You decide. Fasten your seatbelts. It's the Great British Driving Test. Men versus women. Gabby Logan and Neil Fox.
Welcome to the Great British Driving Test, men versus women. We are live on ITV1 and tonight we are going to finally settle one of the greatest arguments of all time. Who are the best drivers, men or women?
Yes, we've divided the whole country. It's brother against sister, husband against wife, boy against girl in Britain's biggest battle of the sexes. Now, there are about 32 million licence holders in the UK, and we're going to find out once and for all just who knows the rules of the road the best. I mean, will it be us men? Of driving licences here in the UK. Not so sure. Will it be the women? We have much less serious accidents than men.
Tonight we're going to settle the argument once and for all. We're going to be asking 35 multiple choice questions, just like the ones in the driving theory test as set by the Driving Standards Agency.
And we want you to play along at home using your home phone or your mobile. At the end of each round, we'll ask you to call us or text us your answers to the numbers on the screen. So make sure you have a pen and paper handy. Or if you bought today's Sun newspaper, you can use the test sheet on page 16.
Do you know, I can hear the row starting already across the nation. In the studio, though, we've got 100 men and 100 women. They've each got a keypad and they will be playing along too. Now, just like the multiple choice section of the official theory test, to pass tonight's exam, you will need to correctly answer 30 out of 35 questions.
Most guys think 30 means 35 anyway. Now, as if meeting the other sex wasn't incentive enough, if you successfully pass the Great British Driving Test tonight, you could win a brand new car. Yep, we're going to give away 2 top-of-the-range Streetwise S cars from Rover. One has to be won by a member of our studio audience.
And the other one could be won by you at home. Now, I'm going to be calling one of you and giving you the chance to win one of these 2 fabulous cars. But to be in with a chance, you have got to register to take part. Now, this is how you do it.
To take the test and play for the car will cost you £1. There are 2 ways you can enter. You can either play using your mobile phone. To register, simply text the first letter of your sex, M for men, W for women, followed by your age, and send it to 07797 808 500.
Or you can play using your telephone keypad. You have to register.
Well, tonight, 8 men and 8 women are going to be doing just that. Ben Shepherd is at the Southwark Test Centre in London. Evening, Ben.
Good evening, Neil and Gabby. Yep, we're here at one of the DSA test centres, which they have all over the country. Behind me, in this room here, the test has already begun. We've got 16 candidates, 8 men and 8 women, and they're all taking part in their official theory test. They need to get this before they can get their driving practical test and get the holy grail that is their driving licence. And earlier on, I caught up with some of the hopefuls before they went in. Now, Jean, I'm going to be very rude and ask you how old you are.
I'm the oldest person here, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am.
What is it that's brought you to driving lessons?
Well, I've just bought my own car and I've set up my own business, so I want to pass my test so I can drive my car.
What's making you take the test again today?
Getting quite a bit of stick from my mates, having failed it quite a few times, so
How many times have you found it now?
6, unfortunately.
6?
Yeah.
What do you think it is that keeps making you fail?
I think if I'd done some driving lessons previously, there's bits of the test that you benefit if you've done a few driving lessons, just lack of driving experience, really.
I think that women drivers are better because I think we're more careful, more cautious.
You should know the answer already to that one.
Definitely women.
Definitely women.
They are women, I would say so.
Why? Coming from a man who don't drive, but...
Women drive with blinkers on.
We can multitask and think of different things all at the same time.
Sometimes you're driving along and then fiddling around with their hair and not concentrating on the road.
Men concentrate more.
Oh, that's not true.
Women are always looking in the mirrors, doing their hair.
All right, how did you do then in round number 1? Are you feeling confident? It's great watching these guys behind us. The smiles slowly left their faces, and for the girls as well. Let's find out then with the answers for questions 1 to 5. Right, question 1. We said, what do these double yellow lines mean? Well, the answer was number 2. They mean no waiting. We then said, if they were double red lines, what would it mean? The answer now is 3. No stopping. Calm down.
I think a few people feel they got that one right. Question 2. What is the national speed limit for a car on this road? Well, it was a single carriageway, so the national speed limit would be 60. But what would the speed limit be if you were towing a trailer? Well, towing a trailer or a caravan can make handling a lot more difficult. It's going to take longer to stop, of course. So the maximum speed limit is reduced to 50.
Oh, it's going to be a long night. There are 35 of these, aren't there? Question 3. You're going to turn left into this minor road. Who's got priority? Well, it's number 1, the pedestrians. We then ask, should you sound your horn? Question 4. As the men in the studio will testify, you should never use your horn aggressively. If people are already on the road, you've got to give them time to get across.
Okay, question 4. What should you do as you approach this police officer? Well, he was making a signal for you to stop, so it's 2. Okay, let's see how you do with the second part, though. What should traffic coming the opposite way do? They should also stop, so that's 4. Despite the fact the policeman's hands appear to be doing different things, they both actually mean stop. And I think the girls did rather well on that, Neil.
Yeah, that's it. You know, they're getting quieter all the time now.
Take your average man off the street, add a couple of country girls, put them in a specially adapted skid car on an abandoned airfield in Oxfordshire, then add the great British weather, and you have the ultimate driving experiment. The car's designed to be extra tricky to control. Our driver's challenge is to navigate a slippery slalom, negotiate a set of roadworks, and perform an emergency stop. So far, so-so.
How was that?
But now, phase 2 of our experiment is to get our celebrities drunk. We asked Stina and Sean to drink what they consider to be under the limit, while we asked Michael and Nicola to drink a little more.
Wait, whose round is it next?
A few hours later, we asked them to redo the course.
Here we go!
Okay, let's go. Watch and learn.
Hang about, what does my hair look like? Okay.
Cheers!
Come on, let's go.
We took the footage to the head of human psychopharmacology at Surrey University, Professor Heinmarch, who's researched the effects of alcohol on the human brain.
I suppose you could say that alcohol in general increases people's confidence. It makes them feel that they can drive better. But of course we all know that that's not true. Now, Nicola was very close to the legal limit and might have been marginally over. And of course she was completely lost in terms of, she spent most of her time giggling. She was driving far too fast for the road condition. She lost control in the slalom. She started to overshoot. She almost collided with one of the cameravans. The next person was Sean. Now, he got about 40 milligram% of alcohol on board.
Oh, yes.
This is about half of the legal limit. Now, this guy was talking, he was garrulous, he was obviously very disinhibited.
Way, Tiger.
His slalom was very, very exaggerated. He found it very, very difficult to do this very simple manoeuvre.
Whoa!
And, of course, he also managed to run over the tyre. When we look at Michael, of course, this is the typical example of the person who is intoxicated to a level of about 120 milligram%. In other words, 1.5 times the legal limit. He's got a confident air about him.
This is that dodgy one, isn't it? Thanks very much.
He seems to be slightly aggressive in his manner. He's fired up. You get the impression he's teetering on the edge of losing control. And then as he comes through the roadworks, he kills the tyre and, of course, loses control of his car.
To be honest, I feel like I should not be in a car, and I feel a very naughty boy.
It was all right. The first couple of cones were fine. I thought, oh yes, I'm okay. But then things started to go a bit more right.
If I'm honest, I wasn't in control at all the way through. I just about managed to stop without, well, I did skid, so no, I didn't even manage to stop without skidding, so.
It's fun in a controlled environment. I would not like to be on the main roads in this state.
Thank you to the stars of Emmerdale and Corrie. Well, if you were thinking of registering to play the Great British Driving Test and try and win one of our fantastic prize cars, I'm afraid the line is now closed, but you can still play along for fun, just to prove you're a better driver than the opposite sex.
Now, earlier in the show, we asked you at home to phone or text us with your answers for the first 5 of tonight's 35 questions. We are now ready to reveal which sex is doing best at this very early stage of the competition. Will it be the men or will it be the women? Right, here we go then. Let's check out the results so far. See the percentage of men and women who are passing the test. Okay. I can tell you